Thank you very much, Les Concola. I'm glad to get the opportunity to talk on this budget here this evening. And I say, Les Concola, that this will be remembered as a frightening budget because of the carbon tax and the increase in the carbon tax. One would have thought, and a lot of people would have thought, that this carbon tax, which was put in place last year for another 7 or 8 years, that would be paused this year in light of the cost and the increased cost of fuel coming into the country because, caused by worldwide prices. But you're adding to the cost by ensuring that people pay this carbon tax, and they'll be paying it from midnight tonight or very shortly anyway. It's going to affect every man and woman and child in this country, and especially the ones that are working. The people that are getting up early in the morning and driving long distances to work, mothers taking children to school, farmers. One farmer organisation chairman tonight said to me, he said, all we can do, Danny, is keep putting the diesel in and keep paying the cost away. And until we find that we've no more money to pay, because the way it is going, we'll go as far as we can, but it's hard to see that we'll be able to continue in any fair way into the future for much longer. And in the sea, transport costs, commercial vehicles. Can you imagine the increase, adding to their woes by increasing, putting a carbon tax on them again today? Think about the passenger buses and the cost that's being added to them. And it is a delusion of their income. And it's the same with taxis. Any man that has a wheel or a woman, any wheel turning at all, they're going to be affected in a desperate way. And then, Minister, I ask you, and and look, it's very clear that the government are staying in power with your support, and they're pandering to you every day and every whim, and this is terrible that this is being meted out to people, because the people in rural Ireland are being affected the most. You're talking, what are the alternatives? You're talking about wind energy from turbines out at sea. We're 10 years away from that, Minister. And in the meantime, people must live, and people must try to stay warm in their homes. We're importing briquettes. We're importing peat moss peat, or whatever it is for the horticulture industry, and we have no alternatives except the Taoiseach over there said the other day that they had 2 gas burning generators, and that they're broke down at the minute, and they're hoping to get them working. Imagine that's what we've reduced ourselves. Close Shannon Bridge and close Lanesborough, and forget about the 10,000 acres of bog in Littleton, and let the people perish in their homes for the winter, or maybe have no light. Talking about retrofit and insulation, 2.5 years of a wait. All we will see is big new shiny buses in Dublin, and the people in rural areas suffering. Imagine that diesel and petrol now is gone to 1.65 a gallon and or a litre, and almost €1 for green diesel. Then, Minister, our health. I don't accept that what has been suggested for health here today will solve the problems that we have been highlighting in relation to UHK, University Hospital in Tralee. Elderly people, 90 years of age and more, waiting for 3 days on corridors, and in corridors, on trolleys, and the ambulance services is not acceptable that we're getting at the present time. there was reconfiguration to the ambulance service put in place back in 2012 and 13, but now it's manifesting itself that there could often be no hospital ambulance to be found in Tralee, Killarney, or Kinmare or Carsibeen, because they may have gone to Cork and be sent to Kinsale or somewhere else around the country, and people waiting on the side of the road after an accident, farmers with their fingers cut off, and another farmer after a bull attacking him, and no ambulance to be found. Nurses are worn out working because of working so hard with less numbers. Nurses are leaving in their droves for Australia. We need more doctors in our hospitals, consultants, and we need the teams that go with them. It's no good in the world appointing a consultant if you don't have the team with him. I welcome the extra assistance that can be given to childcare workers and the college students, getting that they're allowed to travel on buses for half fares. I welcome that. But the big problem for students in Killarney and the Kerry area is they have to drive to Cork and to other colleges because they can't get accommodation. And the other thing, Minister, and it's a very simple thing, they should be allowed to work more and earn more than 4,500 students. That's something that should be looked at. And the reduction of the 45 kilometre to 30 kilometres, that is welcome as well, Minister. Housing, I'm asking you to go back to the old model of buying sites and give the funding to the local authorities and build social houses like was done in the past and which was successful. Rural cottages on people's own, applicants' own land, that should be, we should go back to that. Demountable homes, give funding to the local authorities for that, raise the cap limit for families to qualify for council houses, a couple and 2 children, the cap is 33,600. Honestly, how could they afford to go off and buy a house of their own? Planning for one-off houses is restricted. Board Prenala refused 95% of the applications that are the grants that are granted in rural Kerry. When some objector, some nosy, good-for-nothing person appeals the decision of Kerry County Council, Board Plenala do not recognise our county development plan, that when Kerry County Council grants an application, they refuse it. Then we have another buyout, the planning regulator. He's dictating that less land should be zoned. How can we build houses if we don't zone land? So, Minister, I say to you, the fishermen are being left down. The government has left them down on the Brexit talks, and the farmers are also left down, and also wait just a second. No. The Macklin Ferme and the IFA and all the farming organisations feel that they have been left down in this budget. Reductions of the herd, the forestry felling licences, they're being left down in many ways.
Thank you, Deputy.
Yeah, just one thing to say to the Minister. I know a man driving his own machine, 250 euros more he's paying for diesel now since the middle of the summer because of the extra cost, and you're adding to that man's woes by putting extra carbon tax on him.
Thank you, Deputy Healy.